My mom was very religious, and my mother's biggest goal, even within poverty, as much as I wanted to be successful, she was just like, as long as you do not do drugs, then we're good. The rest is yours, darling. And for me, it was just like, is that all? I mean, that's surely. I mean, I am Siithembs. Drugs? Nah. Ew. Hello, beautiful. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, where everything is absolutely rainbow. So today's video is all about why I quit weed cold turkey. So I grew up in a very Christian house, and I really did look down upon weed. I was just like, this is a big fat no-no. And I used to, and if anything, I was very good at a young, obviously very young, at not surrounding myself with weed smokers of my age. Like, you cannot be 11 years old and you are pumping it. Do you know what I'm saying? Not even 11, like 8, 9, 10, from 8, when did I leave the township? So I was just like, no man, definitely not me, I'll never do drugs. And really I didn't. In primary school I did not touch weed. In high school I did not touch weed. I've never touched weed in my schooling career at all. And that was the best part about it, because I got to be able to reflect back on who I was when I was without this element. And was I moving? Was I keeping it going? And if it's anything, of course, yes, I am a very active individual in life, not just in school. I'm obsessed with being more, doing more, and being a part of more, right? And yeah, that was just the whole weed story in my head. So I knew that weed, no. But when I got to college, but at the same time, when I got to college, now, it's not about weed, it's about everything in life. Like, when I got to college, especially when I left home, my second home, by the way, because I've left my biological home in the township, and then I was fostered in the burbs. But now it was more of a thing of you growing up. Go to the world and just explore. And do what you need to do, beautiful. And so my thing is that I was going to try weed. I was going to try coke. I was going to try every drug that is alive that I feel like is not extremely addictive, because I have an addictive personality. That I just feel like, okay, after trying it, I don't have to go back, but I have an understanding. Because also, as you grow up, I felt like the way I connect with people is connecting them on like their truest form of like essence and expression. And when you're speaking to someone that looks down upon weed, with someone that is smoking it religiously, it's a bit difficult to have a conversation that is conducive, and you know what I'm saying. So for me, it was just like, let me understand what is this thing. And when I got to college, at least 70%. When I say 70%, I went to a very pristine college, trust me. But a lot of the girlies were smoking their weed. Oh my gosh, it's a recording. Oh, that's beautiful. So a lot of the girlies were smoking their weed, and for me it's a matter of, you know what, it's okay. I see these are people that we are in a pristine college, so I'm sure there's an elite way of smoking weed, where it doesn't have to be a so-called drug, or the way I understood drugs to be, or the way my mom had frightened me of what drugs are. If you just, educate yourself and just get into it, vibes. Anyway, the very first time I smoked it was with my queen, my best friend, who I have not spoken to in a very long time, just because I've just been on this self-development journey, and I haven't really been engaging with a lot of people, just to really go back to my roots. Who am I? But at the same time, allowing time and to acknowledge time, that with time you do grow, you do change perspective, and things will be different. It's not about you necessarily always being the person that you were in the past, but to understand your roots, where things started, the way your brain fundamentally developed. It's very important for you to acknowledge with a lot of those things. you know, such as trauma, even greatness, and the way you achieve, like, what is your why? And my why has never changed, and I won't share it here and now, but my why has never changed. But even when it did, and even when I went obscure on my things and ways of doing things, the truth is, it's because I wasn't so focused on my true essence of why. I started having different kind of whys. Anyway, first experience of weed was obviously the best. I mean, hello, sis Charles. We're talking laughter that is non-stop. I'm a bubbly individual. I laugh naturally. I'm high naturally. Like, I'm very high. Even now, it's weird that I have this energy. Like, for me, this is not my high energy, but this energy I have not been able to access naturally for the longest of time, because I was, when I say weight, I mean 7, 6, 5 joints a day. And my rolling skills, it's a fact, I can roll. But that's it. It's been an incredible journey. It's helped me not only laugh the hardest, but it's also helped me really deep into my childhood trauma, which I've been fantastic at hiding. I was just like, oh, girl, please believe it. But weed was like, I know. And on top of that, also, I live alone. When you live alone and you smoke alone, it's, for me, it wasn't a recreational, I wasn't smoking for the music and the galakaba. Though, usually my first like 10 minutes of smoking, 10 to 15, it's usually of its highest, like that high of its highest lasts for that amount. I dance. What does that mean? That's something that I still don't understand, and I don't know where I'm going with it, but that's something that I know on a higher spiritual level. It has nothing to do with my choice. It's a gift, and hopefully I can do something that's going to be beneficial to society with time when it comes to dance. So I dance. That's how I use my first bit of high. I choreograph, and a lot of ideas comes in, and I write them down. I don't lie. I've been very good with that during my weed journey. But the next 2 hours or 1 hour, I'm telling you, I go roller coaster in the park, every ride you can find of emotions, from digging deep to daddy problems, mommy problems, sibling problems, financial problems, poverty, success, alasadong, everything, just spirituality. It's always a ride, and I never know where it's going to take me to. And the truth is, almost every time when I have a bad or cry a lot, because I'm a very emotional individual, and I love crying. It's very beautiful. It reminds me of rain as a blessing, as it is. Tears are exactly the same, and regardless of from what part of your heart they come from, nothing is happening to us, it's happening for us. So even if I'm crying about something that I'm sad about, if anything, I'm also just so grateful to be able to perceive that emotion and make the best decision. But I can't make the best decision if I keep suppressing. So weed allowed me to cry a lot. Like, I cry. And then we get to the addictive part where oh gosh. The addictive part, it's just like, what? Johnny, Johnny, you? So exactly that. So when I started becoming addicted, I could never wake up without one. This whole wake and bake, people even fetishize it. And that time it wasn't even about wake and bake. I just could not do the morning without weed. And it's not I just needed, and can't sleep without it. Usually before I leave to go anywhere, I could not do anything without smoking weed, and that is scary if you think about it. Right? I know. Anyway, with that said, it's been 5 years for me smoking weed. It's been a solid 5 years, and in the 5 years I've gone through roller coasters. So now I'm a very reflective individual, but not in a, I sit down and I write. I want to see. 5 years! When I was in grade to 7, that was 5 years of my life. That was 5 years of great mind shift change, and because of what had happened at home and what kind of decision I'd had to make if I wanted to be successful, what kind of attitude I had to put towards my life. And that came in with obviously prayers. My mom's a strong prayer, but also I was born into a very religious house myself, that I believe in God, I believe in Jesus Christ who have died for us. And then it was very prominent, so I prayed and I said, please give me answers. And again, and I always had this 5-year trajectory of what I want to be, every 5 years, every 10 years, but mostly just like my short-term goals is a year, right? And then my mid is 5, and then my long is 10. But I am obsessed with middle. 1 year is usually like, oh gosh, I don't want to put too much pressure, but I'm going to do my very best, because the 1 year is, what can we possibly do this year that we know that at the end when we reflect, it's going to show growth, right? But the 5-year plan usually has to do with really, what am I seeing and what will it take to get there? And 5 years, even in entrepreneurship, it's usually the period for you to kind of, vibe. Like, I say no land, but yeah. And then 10 years, darling, by the time we get to the 10th year, this is what we're doing. This is how I do it, Mamela. Hey, so yeah, it's been 5 years since I started weed. It's been 5 years since I've started certain goals, and it's been 5 years since I've left home. And a lot has changed. But one thing that I knew that has contributed the most to my change, because I've kept it along every single way I've gone since my very first puff, has been weed. There's a lot of things that changes where I eat, things that I attend, my jobs, but weed did not change my mom. And all it did, I went down, because what it did, honestly, it amplified my anxiety in ways that I could not handle. I've always been mentally strong, but now that there's this drug that just made me feel insecure about myself. It made me feel that I was not enough, and it just elevated everything that was not the one. So just like the devil, it comes in dressed in sheep clothes, and then it's a wolf. And that's how I feel when it comes to weed. Like, it really was a good vibe, I won't even lie. And especially when I was discovering how much trauma I had to work on, because I really didn't know. For me, the whole fake it till you make it was a culture that I thought, let's work with that culture. And it was working in my head, but part of faking it till you make it was suppressing your feelings. But no, it wasn't, and we really brought that out for me. And I've been working on things on a real, like ndiyasebenza kuzo, and sasizibuyela phana because sizikwazi for doing kanjani. So yes, but it stopped. It was no longer helping me and understand or solve my anxiety problems, but rather was it making it I was victimizing myself, self-loathing, procrastination, not procrastination, doing nothing, even YouTube videos. I started with the thing of, I know I'm not great, it's fine, but I'm here to grow. It came to a point where I was just like, I don't have time, I really don't have time. And I had all the time. You sit down, I don't Netflix, I binged watch anything that didn't need to be watched by me, but I was like, I have the eyes and the ears, surely it will benefit me even if I'm in my grave. You make every excuse not to do what you need or ought to be doing, because weed is that girl. So anyway, and I saw this, and it affected my career. It's affected my career, it's affected my health. I wasn't so comfortable when I looked myself in the mirror, when people say Siithembs, is this what they see? Is this what they imagine? I don't know. Why are you still around then? Because this is not the Siithembs I had imagined when I even brought about my Siithembs name, you know. And Siithembs is Siithembele, but it's Siithembele taking it to another level. So yeah, and I didn't like the way I looked, but also the way I looked was exactly how I felt, you know. Confused, delusional, very much. Lacked confidence, which is very weird. I mean, that's the one thing that has kept me going, or that has been my ingredient of keeping it moving regardless, you know. And yeah, just so now looking back at all of those things, I realized that hi Nana, and the only time in my head I thought I was happy was when I had weed. This is what has happened. So because I was smoking all these joints in one day, like again 5 to 7, 5 to 8 a day, I decided that I wanted to use those 2 hours of smoking, because it usually max 1 hour 30 minutes at this point. By the time I stopped now, it was lasting me like 30 minutes, no longer like the 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. So I was like, I want to exchange that time, where the amount of time I use for smoking is exactly that. Oh my gosh, it's been wonderful actually to sit in front of the camera. Thank you so much, beautiful souls. I am Siithembs, and I hope that I can continue this journey of self-development and share with you things that can possibly help you grow and become the best version of yourself. And it takes every second, it takes every day, it takes every month, and it takes every year. So perfection, it's not gonna happen like that, but it's gonna need you to start, and it's gonna need you to hold yourself accountable, and it's gonna need you to be honest, beyond to anyone, to yourself. And this is the beginning of a beautiful journey. It's not the beginning of it, I mean, I'm recording this video, but in terms of me just coming back on YouTube and speaking to you, it's the beginning of something great in my head, because it's been a very long time since I had the confidence to look at lenses and not feel diminished by technology, because there is no reason to do that. Anyway, from me, but to you, my name is Siithembs. Call me that, darling, if you must. Stay beautiful and subscribe. Goodbye. Thank you.